Hello, and welcome to another episode of MorgCraft, where this time it's actually going to be live commentary rather than the other one. The other one, it was just late at night, and hello, chicken. Oh my god. I don't know if you guys hear the rooster crowing, but Anyway, today we'll be working on basic tech. So, random bit of basic tech to go over is a pressure plate right next to your door, so that whenever you walk out it, you don't have to right click it, and whenever you walk in, you don't have to close it. The simplest of tech. The more you know. Anyway, so this time we're going to be looking at basic tech, and so what I decided to do for that is make a clipboard. So, clipboard, very simple recipe, and you know, not that it's common for people to cheat it in or whatever, but just so you know I didn't cheat it in, I have a death infographic from when I went on my adventure, and I went and ran off and had to grab my squid ink, and okay, let me walk outside because it's on cave mode. I had to grab my squid ink and that, I had to run all the way over there, and I died over there. And then I found that there was some sugarcane right over here, because this is closer to where my original spawn point is. So that's fantastic. But yeah, I do know there's a slime island there now, and some battle towers here and there, so that's nifty. I know there's one right behind me, but that'll probably be our first little endeavor into the dangerous zones. Anyhow, so let's remove that death waypoint, because that's annoying. And yeah, on the point of the journey map waypoints, just probably already know this, more experienced Minecrafters, but nevertheless, if you're going to, you know, go off on an adventure or whatever, just once you've already created and established your home, like if you built a house or whatever, just journey map, minimap, or fucking waypoint it on your minimap, so like when you're far away you just get a little beacon and that, and on your minimap there will be the little icon. Mine's green because my home should always be green. The way you do that is you go, obviously, into your minimap, waypoints, and then you can do a new one, or you can use a hotkey that you've previously selected. Now, let's get into some actual stuff. So, basic tech stuff, and you'll see I have generators listed. I was running through, and as you can see in the chat, I gave myself a heat generator, because I was testing how, I don't have it anywhere, like it's not, there's no hiding it, I was testing to see how much power it output, because I wanted to know which one I was choosing, but I didn't choose it. I didn't go for it. So anyway, this episode, basic tech stuff. So we're going to need the metallurgic infuser, which, ahead of the game on yesterday, I already got it. So we'll just plop that bitch right down there. So that's done. Woo! Making progress already. We'll need an enrichment chamber, an energized smelter, a basic energy cube, basic universal cabling, a furnace generator, and steel paxels will be the result. I kind of want to have some kind of result at the end of every episode, like all that starter stuff and beginning things all led into building a house. So all of this tech stuff we build today will lead into building something useful for the rest of it that isn't just mod related. Like, all this stuff is mod related, and it's like, oh, well, how would that help me achieve something real in the world? Well, steel paxels, which are a complicated tool, or not a complicated tool, but an advanced tool that is a combination of, a paxel is just a combination of a pickaxe, a shovel, and a regular axe in a crafting table. It has typically higher durability than the tools, not higher than all of them combined, but higher than each single tool. And it can be used so you don't have to swap through your hotbar and have multiple on there. It's just right there ready to go for you, all of them in one. So that's neat. And multi-tools are really useful to have, obviously, especially ones that are so easily made and such. But steel is actually going to be used because steel is one of the strongest materials we can use in vanilla, or in modded Minecraft. It's actually up there as one of the best pickaxe materials, and if you look, we're going to be utilizing Mechanism steel. There it is. Mechanism steel. Now, in Mechanism, steel is actually, I think, the third most durable paxel. No, second most durable. No, third, because diamond is more durable. Yeah, there's diamond and obsidian that beat out a steel pickaxe. Oh, also it's a really good weapon, you know, 13 hearts of damage, 13 points of damage, like that's pretty good. Anyhow, and a 1.6 attack speed, so just a better version of a sword. Anyway, 1250 durability, and it can mine obsidian. So we go from, we don't even have to, I know we did find some diamonds, which was really nice, but we're not going to use those to mine. We're going to use steel to mine up our obsidian. That way we don't waste our precious diamonds. So anyway, let's fill up our saturation and get going on the tech we'll need. Now I don't honestly know if we have all the, I don't think we have gold, which is kind of 100% necessary for building that energy cube. So we'll probably skip ahead of the energy cube on the list. We'll X that out for now and we'll go back to it. So first things first is the enrichment chamber. So with Mekanism, you make steel by crafting in the metallurgic infuser. You use coal and or charcoal, or enriched coal or charcoal, whichever, you know, compressed carbon, but a carbon source to enrich the iron into enriched iron. And then from there you use that to create steel dust, and then you need to smelt that. So what we need for our enrichment chamber, and hello, yes, Mr. Rooster, you are so annoying. For an enrichment chamber, we actually need 4 steel, 4 glass, 1 osmium, which we have a bit, and then we need either basic control circuits or electronic circuits. Now, Industrial Craft 2 does add an option, electronic circuits, but these are insulated copper wires and an iron plate, which means we'd have to get rubber and copper cabling, which is just a whole hassle. These basic control circuits are just redstone and osmium in that metallurgic infuser. So it's pretty much always better to just use those for every application. And we're actually going to need a lot of these. We're going to need, yeah, we're going to need 4 of those. So we can start those ticking down after we get the iron going. Now, I will make a point about doing this. You'll want to use charcoal in the early you'll want to use charcoal when making steel in the early game, because until you're at the point where you're enriching carbon in mass, in which case basically 1 coal acts as 1 carbon in the enrichment chamber, but you need 2 carbon for every steel, because you need 1 to turn it into a rich iron and 1 to turn it into steel dust. So when you use your coal, you would need 2 coal per enriched iron, or per steel. Now, that doesn't really matter later on in the game, because you can just compress either coal or charcoal into compressed carbon, which acts as 8 carbon. But we don't have an enrichment chamber yet, we're building that, so you can use 1 coal to cook up 8 logs to create 4 charcoal. Now, charcoal in the enrichment chamber actually acts, as you'll see, 1 charcoal acts as 2, or 20, but it just multiplies it by 10, so 2 carbon. So you actually get 1 steel for every 1 charcoal, which is pretty beneficial. So we're going to actually need all 8 of this to go in here, so that we will be able to create the 8 steel we need for the enrichment chamber and the energized smelter. We'll need 4 more for the energy cube, and 2 more for the universal cabling. So we'll realistically need 2 more. I'm just gonna we're gonna need 4 more. So I'm probably just going to combine some of that tiny charcoal we have into full coal, or full charcoal, because we need 2 more charcoal for the basic cables. And then as far as the rest of it goes with the energy cube, we don't have the steel for that right now, so no big deal. Anyway, and as you can see, we have we have the carbon, we have more than enough carbon, we have 10 iron, but we're not getting any power. Now, in most cases that would require us to build our furnace generator immediately, but Mekanism actually lets you use redstone to power your machines to begin with. 1 redstone for every 1 operation. So we're actually going to need to use 20 redstone, because we're going to need 20 operations. And then we'll also need 4 more redstone for when we get going with the basic control circuits. Now, it would be beneficial for us to just build our furnace generator and start generating the power, that way we can just use coal, but this feels more the theme of Mekanism, you either would have to build this really crappy heat generator first, which is copper and that, and it produces about a little under 30 RF per tick, which is no good, as this uses 20, so the minute we were running 2 machines, it immediately have to be replaced. I've always kind of skipped the heat generator, because, like, okay, it can generate a lot of power. If you wrap it in lava, which will burn down the house, but if you wrap it in lava and have stuff burning in it, it generates, I believe, 39.5 RF per tick, so basically enough to run 2 machines. But it's so quickly replaced, and the fact is, the furnace generator is just, if you look at it, this requires all of this. The furnace generator is honestly just better in every way. It's, you know, 9 iron, a furnace, some redstone, a chest, and some more redstone. So it's more expensive, but it also generates 40 RF per tick. And it generates for, essentially the burn time of coal is the same as it would be in a furnace. Whereas in the Mekanism one, it just isn't. So it's beneficial to go for the furnace generator. I'm going with the furnace generator. And I'm going to use this part of Mekanism because I think it's really cool. So, you know, eat me. Yeah, so we'll just do this. And actually, while this is going, I think I'm going to build another iron pickaxe, and I'm going to go searching for gold. Might do a jump cut here, might just keep the camera rolling and, you know, keep going with it. I haven't really decided yet. That'll be more of a decision that's made in the editing process, so, you know. And it's always scary going down like this in 30 FPS, because, you know, it's just lots of frame drops here and there that you probably... OBS is pretty good, so you probably don't see it in the video, but I forgot to bring torches. Damn. I actually have a lot of consistent frame drops that I don't think actually show up in the video. I'm used to playing at 60 FPS, because when I'm not, you know, recording, it just runs at 60 FPS. But, you know, shitty computer, so can't really record very well. Like, I mean, it's just an old, like, 2014 Acer laptop. Like, it's just it's good for what it is, but it's also well being pushed beyond its limits. Optifine is doing the lion's share of the work to make this playable and fun for me. The best mod in the pack, it would normally be called Mekanism, but I'm gonna make sure that Optifine gets its credit, because it's doing a lot of work for me, and this is a bunch of rambling and mumbo-jumbo that nobody really cares about, but at the same time, nobody really cares about, you know... I should stop using my clipboard. Nobody really cares about, you know, watching someone dig a hole for a while, so I should probably cut this out. Yeah, not really certain if I'm going to keep this in. Ooh, more lava. I need gold, though. Ooh, there's like abyssal-craft stuff, it would seem. Lead isn't going to be super useful for us. I'm sticking mostly to Mekanism. Like, there will be some thermal expansion stuff used, just because thermal expansion is it's a really good mod. I'm just a lot more familiar with Mekanism. I know it really, really well. And, like, I'm not even using Tinker's Construct, because I'm just sticking to the things that I'm really knowledgeable on, and so I can teach very much more effectively than anything else, because there are some things in thermal expansion I kind of have to look up, like, you know, all the best power gen, things like that. Like, I just know Mekanism very well. I've been playing it for a long time. I've been playing it since it first came out back in long ago. Well, let me rephrase. Not when it first came out. I don't think I was playing it when it first came out. I definitely was playing it. It was funny. I was playing it a few months before Direwolf actually made his spotlight on it. And I was just like, hey, that's really neat, because I never thought he was going to make a spotlight on that mod, because lots of mod pack people, and especially Feed the Beast people, were really against Mekanism for a while. Like, especially on the forums, people were talking about how Aiden Brady was very, like, unresponsive to people, and it really rubbed me the wrong way, because Aiden seems like a really nice guy, and oh, well, that's a thing. Can we... I'll have to look into a way to correct that. That's terrible that it does that. Wow. I guess I never really dig this close in the direction of my base, so I never really know. God, the gold's just being such a pain to find. I'm actually amazed at how I haven't found gold yet. Genuinely shocked. Sure, mining at 11 isn't the most effective way. I mean, it's a very effective way, and it's always been an effective way, but it's not like the end-all be-all of mining tricks. But damn, is it like really real disappointment that I'm not finding everything that I wanted to find. Gold. I figured diamond was going to be much more of a limiting resource than gold by this point. Yeah. Maybe there was gold down here? Alright, yellow, right? Ooh, creeper. Ooh, slime. Die, slime. Hey, slime ball. Let's kill the creeper. I'm really glad they changed axes, because axes are like... A stone axe is like a super effective weapon now. Well, I can't seem to find gold anywhere, and I do distinctly... Yeah, there was no gold down this way. This is really disappointing to me. I actually was hoping to find lots of gold. Maybe there's some down here. I kind of forgot that this ravine was here. I was recording last night, so didn't really remember. Although my voiceover is going to make points about it probably, because my voiceover, I haven't actually recorded the voiceover for the video. Editing things, man. I haven't actually recorded the voiceover for that video yet. I just know that I'm going to have to record voiceover because I was recording no audio from my mic, because it was late and I didn't really care to do that, so, you know. Far be it from me to, you know... Yes, this is a really stupid way to be dealing with gold, yay! And I am gonna grab this redstone too, because this is really important, especially because we just burned a bunch of redstone, and we're gonna have to burn even more redstone on more stuff for the metallurgical confuser until we get our power going. But luckily, now we have gold, so that's really sweet, and going to make our lives a heck of a lot easier, because the furnace generator, while great, it will actually, unless you take out the coal, it will slowly burn all the coal that's inside of it, which is definitely a downfall of it, but I think the benefits outweigh the cons, so to speak. And what's more, with the basic energy cube, 800,000 RF storage is nothing to snuff at. I know the leadstone energy cell's more, but the leadstone energy cell also doesn't have a built-in energetic infuser, which, if you're Morgan watching this, doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But basically, the thing that charges your tools in thermal expansion is the energetic infuser, and it charges them really slowly. A basic energy cube from Mekanism will actually charge things faster than the energetic infuser, which is a kind of sort of expensive machine, really. I think you can upgrade the energetic infuser to charge stuff faster, but yeah, wow, that was the most unlucky set of mining circumstances I've had in a while. But yeah, upgrading the energetic infuser, I'm pretty sure makes it faster, and probably faster than the basic energy cube, but that's a lot of cost for not a lot of gain when you could just be using a Mekanism energy cube, which stores a little under half of what the leadstone energy cell stores, and it's a little bit more expensive than the leadstone energy cell, but it lets you charge your stuff, and, you know, it still works really well. And what's more, it's upgradable, so you're not stuck, you know, with just the leadstone, or just the basic energy cube. You know, you can move on to the bigger and better things, so that's always cool. Anyway, yeah, so I only want to spend... Just eat some bran flakes. I only want to spend about 30 minutes recording this video. Last one was just under 20. After the editing, it'll probably be right around 20 minutes, because I'm going to keep it pretty true to time and add a little bit more. But, yeah, so I'm probably going to be ending this episode. We're rearing up on the 20-minute mark, so I'll probably be ending the episode soon. Let's just get... We definitely need that gold going. So... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. I will actually get the energy enrichment chamber going first, so that I can just not deal with the fact that gold was that hard to find means it's probably going to continue to be hard to find, so I'm going to not, I'm not going to, you know, stick myself with, being, you know, only, because the 6 gold is, like, what we're going to have to use to create the, basic energy cube. We would need all 6 of this gold. And that's just kind of unreasonable. To use up all the last of our gold, so I'll just use the enrichment chamber and smelt up, you know, or not smelt up, but I'll double the ores, which is why we're building the enrichment chamber, which I don't think I mentioned, but those who've played before obviously know what's going on, but this is, you know, supposed to be educational, so I'm sorry for missing out on a step there. The enrichment chamber is Mechanism's way of doubling your ores. In Mechanism, you can actually pentuple, or, I think there's another way of saying that. Pentuple, I'm pretty sure there's another way you can say that. But the point is, pentupling, you know, 5 times ore processing, is possible through Mechanism. And so, Mechanism's way of doing its doubling, it's a tiered system, and it all upgrades off of itself, but the way Mechanism starts is ore doubling, like most mods tend to do, and that's done through the enrichment chamber. So, there you go. There's your bit of knowledge. That'll be enough. I'm gonna try to not teleport to my waypoints. I have it on, and I'm not, like, turning it off, but I'm gonna try to not use that. We have teleporters from Mechanism, so I'll eventually be using those, which are quite a bit late gamey, but nevertheless, probably teleporting is really a powerful mechanic that shouldn't just be used so willy-nilly. So I'm not going to use it so willy-nilly. Right, no doing that. Why would we ever be allowed to do that? Osmium, and I'm gonna need iron too, and redstone, which is here, so good. Now, to craft a steel casing, which is the base of every machine, we need to do that. Osmium in the center, 4 glass, and then 4 steel around that, as I said a little late. Then we need 2 base control circuits, 2 iron ingots, and 4 redstone, and that will give us our enrichment chamber. So, bam. Let's close that, and boom, right off the bat, there. Enrichment chamber. Done. Fancy. I think I'm actually going to put a chest in between these. Yeah. And also, I need to get the iron cooking up, so, just gonna... yeah, 8 of these. It'll be fine to create the 4 steel that I need. It'll be fine. I promise. It will be more than fine. It'll be absolutely, positively, definitely great. Yeah. So, anyhow, then we need to create the energized smelter. Well, let me tell you, the energized smelter, we still need more osmium for. Oh, in the enrichment chamber, we're gonna want to, like, there we go. So, energized smelter is another steel casing, which I almost forgot to build. Which I almost built the old way. There we go, steel casing. The control circuits, 1, 2, 3, 4 redstone, and 2 glass, and that gives us our energized smelter. So place that right down here. Now, Mechanism is really cool in that you can configure it to do a lot of cool things. So if you do the side config, it labels it front, back, blah, 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 blah. So right here, we've got front, back, left, right, up, and down. So right now, the up is the input, which is where I want, because I'm going to put a chest on top. Right is the output. Oh, and this also, I believe, it won't auto-pull from chests. You can just set a hopper on top, and we'll do that in a bit. But anyway, output to the right, which is where we want it to go, and energy from the bottom is fine. It doesn't really matter. It's always accepting energy, basically. So now what we do is, we'll put that back to energy. That's fine. Output on the top, and input from the right, and then auto-eject, and now, boom, it's ejected the gold dust into there, and that's really cool. Now, just for the sake... Oh, this is really wasteful on my redstone, but redstone's not too much of a commodity. So now, that does its energizing, and now it's going to smelt that up. And that's really cool. So that's ore doubling, and then obviously automated smelting. And obviously it's not so automated right now because we don't have the, you know, all the energy in place. But nevertheless, we'll get into the energy cube now because we are at the point where it should be pretty much possible. Yeah, pretty much possible to start getting those other two parts dealt with. So that's really cool. And will be dealt with accordingly. And we're using tiny coal. We want to use tiny coal. Tiny coal is what you need to be using. If you're not using tiny coal, then you're not doing it right, in my opinion, in this regard. Just because tiny coal is the best, and you can go fuck yourself if you think anything but that. No, it's because it's really effective at getting this job done. And I almost forgot. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 of these to be mixed with redstone, because we need what is known as enriched alloy, I think is what it's called. Let's get the energy cables real quick, just so we have those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't say it there, so 5. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they look so cool. They're so cool, because they started as just this little thing, and then they like spread out into being all that interconnected. Oh, it's just such a cool texture. Anyway, enriched alloy, yeah. So we need that for our basic energy cube, because if we look at energy cube, what we'll find is the recipe is 2 of these energy tablets, the steel casing, iron, and redstone, and the steel casing we know how to make. The energy tablets is gold. Oh, enriched alloys. What are the odds? I made 4, and I made gold. Oh, wow, it's like I planned ahead. Oh-ho. And, you know, obviously now we have, since we doubled our ore, we're not, like, short on anything, so that's cool. Energy tablets, steel casing, 2 iron. God, we're running ourselves out of iron, and an energy cube. And I didn't need to put this there because I need the energy cube to go under there. And the energy cube has the same configuration, holds a lot of power, output, and input from the top. There we go. And now, as you'll see, the side has like gone empty, but that side has it. It's so cool. Mekanism. Such a just a pretty mod. So, basic energy cube, basic universal cables, all out of the way. Now we need to get to a little bit of ore doubling, because, man, we ran ourselves out of iron, and if we want to create the furnace generator, we need a lot of iron. 5 and 4, so we need 9 iron for that, which is kind of insane. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say we need 9, so we need to cook up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so waste 10 more redstone to get these, and this is going to need a lot more. We'll just throw all that redstone in there. It's probably fine. It'll be fine, I promise. It's gonna be fine. So we need that furnace generator, but we can start putting back the osmium and the. We're gonna want that out. But I will break this one because we're gonna need one of these furnaces. Let's just start piecing together all we need. We need the redstone and a chest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Chest, redstone, and I think all we need after that is iron. Yep. Now we're just sitting here kind of waiting. We'll get each bit cooked up as we can, or not cooked up, but you know what I mean, built up as we go. So there's a machine block, and we get 4 of those, which is useful if we might use more extra utility machines as we go. Also, random bit. If you don't want to have to reset down your stuff when you leave, you just craft your crafting table in the thing to make a crafting station. And then when you place your items in, it also attaches to nearby inventories. But anyway, once you put all that in, you don't have all the recipe you need, well, it's fine. It just holds it there. And it's got a cool little, you know, in-world, it looks really nifty. So now we have all this. And finally, we can generate our power. It's nifty. It looks... furnace generator is done. Boom. So now, all we have to do, well, we throw some power into it. So let's grab Blocks of coal are going to be the most effective way of doing this because they burn just like they would in a furnace, so rather than just acting as 9 coal pieces, they act as 10. So that's really nifty. And now we got power generating, and this is going to build up power, and these are going to slowly build up power. This thing only generates 40 RF per tick, so when both of these are running, this is going to stop getting its power budget. Or not stop getting its power budget, they're going to stop filling up. Because this should be, yeah, there it goes, okay, yeah, it's netting a, not a loss, or not a gain, it's just breaking even on power gen, which is fine. So running all 3 of these machines at once isn't going to be feasible, which is perfectly okay. I don't anticipate running all of these. What's more, the energy cube is there so that while none of the machines are running, this furnace generator can still be running and generating power for us and storing it in here where there's an 800, okay, it's empty right now, but it has an 800,000 buffer. So we'll have a nice buffer even if we do run all of our machines at the same time. It'll be a really nice buffer so that it doesn't ever get backed up or backlogged or anything. And I'm actually going to take these out because they don't need to, and it doesn't waste the energy. It's a good point to be made. But for a steel paxel, we only need 7 steel. So there you'll see they're filling up with their energy. Yeah, that one's filling up, and then that one will fill up, and then I'm actually going to put a slab here just so that we can see it. And we are, oh, I already had some. Anyway, we are running low on time. I'm basically out of time. If I edit out some of that mining endeavor, then we'll probably have more time, but I think I'll just actually stick the episode to 35 minutes or so, just so that we can have a full, you know, I like this comprehensive bit. Why aren't you filling with power? There it goes. Okay, so yeah. Already, it's filled up with over 2,000 RF. KRF is just, you know, kilo RF, or, you know, 1,000, so it's storing a lot of power, and it'll slowly fill up, and it'll create a little thing inside. Anyway, yeah, so we have some iron. Let's use 7 of it, and we'll enrich 2 coal. That way we get the most out of this. So if we enrich it in here, like I was telling you, we'll create, we actually need 2 more iron for this creation of a steel paxel. Because of how Mekanism steel tools work, they're pretty particular in how they want things to be dealt with. So basically, the way Mekanism works, if we look up a steel paxel, steel tools require iron ingots for the tool rod instead of sticks, which is a stark difference from a steel pickaxe from, say, Thermal Foundation, which uses sticks. I was going to initially use, I was originally going to use Mod Tweaker and Mine Tweaker, respectively, to actually change the way that worked to where it would be okay with using the Thermal Foundation version, just so I could save a little bit of iron and not have it be so expensive. But it's really not that expensive. Iron's really common, and like we may not have a bunch of it right now, but even doubling our ores, that 16 is going to turn into 32, so we're not even hurting too bad at the moment. But, you know, early it seems like a lot. It's really not. It'll be fine. I promise. We're going to have a fine time with it. Iron is one of the most common resources in the world. If you look, iron ore, world generation, it's everywhere. From height 63 down, no, actually, it generates all the way 67 even? There's a little bit? Wow. But, you know, you get 98% generation from 1 to 63-ish, so, yeah. You're basically going to find it everywhere, and it'll be fine. You know, we're not hurting for anything right now. We're in actually really good starting shape, so that's pretty good. I'm going to put away these cables because they don't really need to be here. And once this is done crafting us up, our CLC is going right back to just chewing through that coal and giving us power, which is really cool. So yeah, we've almost got everything done. We just have to wait for that little... It's kind of a bottleneck in a sense, because it's taking forever, but it'll be fine. I get overly concerned with waiting around. That's why I even have the Torturino, so time torches. I have compressed Torturino, does that mean? I don't know what that means. What is a compressed torturino? I've never seen this. Double compressed? So does it just, like, work twice as fast, I guess? Anyway, this can speed up things around it 4 times as fast. I'm not going to do that because it's cheaty. I have it in the pack because when I play solo, I definitely abuse time torches, but I'm not going to do that because I am a nice guy who definitely would not do that. Just know I'm going to be trying to do everything completely legit with this because it's supposed to be a teaching and educational to the morgue, so why would I be doing it the, you know, not so, like, guaranteed to work way? I guess, if you look at it that way, like, real quick, let's think about this. If I'm trying to teach you how, or anyone really, but if I'm trying to teach someone how to play Minecraft, and all I do is cheat stuff in, and you know, it's one thing for Mod Spotlight, but it's another when it's like, oh, here, let me show you how you can survive in a realistic survival scenario with these mods. If I try to do that, and then I cheat stuff in, that's really not teaching you how to survive anything. That's kind of just doing the opposite, because it's just saying, hey, this is how you would survive if you were to cheat in everything. Let's just finish up our Steel Paxel and stop having a point about that. So there we go. Steel Paxel is done. Boom. So we've got everything on our clipboard done for the day, which is awesome. So we'll move to a new page and start on something new tomorrow. So let me first just craft some torches because I'm going to be in the mines for quite a while, to say the least. I'm going to be getting a bunch of resources between this one and the next, because I think it's about time we stop showing the mining resource collecting process. And no, I know I just talked about cheating. I'm not cheating anything in, okay? It's really fucking boring to watch, okay? So as you can see, really fast axe, faster than our stone axe by a lot, because it's steel, and steel is just a lot faster than most things, so, you know. I don't know that steel digs faster than diamond. I know it's not as durable, and but I don't know if it's in the same situation as gold, where like it does dig faster than diamond. But I know it digs really fast. It digs at least close to the speed that diamond does. I think it's closer to like faster than iron, slower than diamond, but that I can't speak to entirely. So you know we can. Ow, poison ivy. That's painful. I'll actually save that apple because we can do this. And we need more apples for that. But I will save this apple, because this can be used. We can craft an apple sapling with Pam's Harvest Craft, and that will be useful for getting a lot of food. So anyway, that, and then we can dig up some dirt over here, and it works as a fast shovel. And what's more, one thing to note is that, boom, 1183... 1182, so it's not just fast and doing it wrong. So like in Minecraft, if you dig with the wrong tool, I'm sure a lot of you know this, but if you dig with the wrong tool, then you will use up double the durability on your tool, and that's not good. But if we see, we have 1182, so dig that up, boom, 1181. So it is really meant to be a multi-tool. And then finally, if we just go down to the bottom, we're going to try to not kill ourselves, because I don't have water set up down here yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, if we just go here, boom, digs up. Also cobblestone really fast. So, yeah, so between this episode and the next, I'm going to be working on mining out this strip mine and making it quite impressively dug out. With maybe one more steel paxel in this, I'll probably end up making another, but you guys know how to make it now, and you saw me make it, so I have the resources up there to make more. I just didn't, because man, does it take a little bit of time at this point. But we'll upgrade our stuff later. So I think next episode, we're probably going to get into making a farm, I think would be a good idea. We'll either be working on a farm, or we might... Nah, I don't think we're at the point where we really want to start getting into Botania. I think we want to kind of focus on this mod first. We don't have BuildCraft, so we don't have any quarry, except for the endo quarry or whatever. But I'm going to look into some better massive mining techniques from the mods we do have, because, you know, we have plenty of mods to work with. And I think next episode we might go to the mining dimension and set up a strip mine there instead of in the overworld. I think this one strip mine will be fine, but we'll set up another one in the mining dimension, and then we'll eventually go into you know, digging that out. So yeah, immersive engineering is a really cool, but that one I don't know so well. I think we'll probably just end up using the digital miner for massive mining. Which is a little lame. I've done that a bunch of times, and it's really almost cheaty with how specific you can get with it, but it'll be fine, I promise. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope that, Morgan, you're learning more. So now that that's done, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode. Woo, we went, like, a lot over what I wanted to, but hey, that's perfectly okay. So I think I'm gonna go stop the recording for now and play some League of Legends, and then start in on getting more resources collected for this. So, yep, you guys, bye-bye.